We're here with Senator Debbie Smith, a panelist on the DNA and Crime Issue Forum at NCSL's Legislative Summit, and we're going to ask her a few questions. Can you tell us a little bit about your DNA arrestee legislation that was enacted earlier this year?
I can. We passed legislation that requires that DNA be taken from all felony arrestees in Nevada, and that information is uploaded into CODIS, the federal DNA system, if that person is arraigned and properly processed through the courts.
How can justice be improved through the use of DNA analysis?
You know, it's an amazing crime prevention tool. The reality is a small number of our citizens commit the vast majority of crimes in this country. So it really is a very effective crime prevention tool, and over time it will also show that you can save money in the criminal justice system by using DNA. If you can catch bad people sooner, you spend less money trying to find them and spending money on investigations.
What, if any, challenges do DNA arrestee laws present for privacy?
It is an ongoing challenge. Most of it is an education issue of making sure that people have the right information. In Nevada, we produced a little document. It was a Mythbuster document about DNA, that CODIS is a very secure system that has never had a security breach, in fact, and that the crime labs are very sensitive about the way they handle DNA, and that you can have your DNA on a business card and give it out to people and it would have no meaning to them. So really it's about education and making sure people understand how DNA processing works.
What was the most significant factor in your decision to bring forth this legislation?
I became thoroughly convinced that it really is a crime prevention tool, and women are so frequently the victims of violent crime. I really see it as a great tool to prevent more rape and more murder in this country.
What brought your attention to the DNA arrestee issue?
You know, I went to the NCSL Summit in Philadelphia several years ago, and I was invited to the DNA Saves luncheon and became intrigued. I was very taken by the story of the Sepich family. And then about a year later, a young woman in my community was abducted and murdered. And it just seemed like it was meant to be for me, that I had become interested in it, my community was affected, and I could see that it really would make a difference, and I think it does.
What information have you looked into to show what the outcomes of implementing a DNA arrestee law could be?
The most recent information from the University of Virginia, there's a very deep study on what arrestee DNA means in crime prevention and also saving money in the criminal justice system. And it's very powerful information and very compelling. I'm thoroughly convinced that arrestee DNA will prevent crime in this country.